720 WGN, John Hanson in for Steve Bertrand on the Wintrust Business Lunch. And again, we'll have that verdict live coming up around 1:45 here on WGN Radio in the Jason Van Dyke trial. All right, Nancy Doyle, you're the founder of the Doyle Group. We've met before. It's so great to talk with you again. We met on TV on your last book, and now you have a new book out, Manage Your Financial Life, just starting out. Nancy, thanks for coming here today.
Well, nice to see you again, John. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and, there is no more critical time. Obviously, financial planning and being aware of what your finances are important at any point in life. But in terms of ROI, a return on your investment, the most success or the most damage you could do to your financial future is right when you're starting out as an independent adult. And I imagine that's what the book is really aimed to help these people out.
That is what the purpose of the book is, because when you're just starting out, especially people coming out into the workforce nowadays, they do face some financial headwinds. If you think about it, 70% of college students leave school with debt. And the balances are 70% higher than they were a decade ago.
Right.
And also, rents have been high in major metropolitan areas. Now, the last month or two, they've pulled back a little bit, but
the overall trend is still
exactly.
up.
The overall trend has been rents have been rising faster than the CPI for quite a while now. So those are things that people just starting out need to face. But I believe that establishing those sound financial practices early on has a profound impact on your financial well-being in the long term.
We could go on and on about high school education in terms of how we educate our students, and I know there's a lot of personal economics departments that have been cut at high schools, and there are a lot of well-meaning teachers that do their best, parents too, but we're not doing a real great service for our high schoolers and even college students on this. Does this book help to fill the gap of that void?
I hope it does. I hope it does, because financial literacy is important for all of us, especially for those just starting out. And I think one thing we can all do that doesn't require a degree in business or economics, with technology nowadays, we can all analyze our spending like we never have been able to before. If you think about it, go to your bank website, look at your activity over a period of 3 months. You can identify changes that you can make to free up cash to save more. Same is true with your credit card. I do believe that if you limit the number of accounts you have, and I think you and I have talked about this before, limit yourself to 1 or 2 credit cards, because then you can really keep track of where your money's going. And I think it's those lifestyle choices, it's the non-essentials that the financial planners talk about. Those are the things that can get you into trouble.
A lot of our listeners are well beyond high school and college years, and they have kids, sometimes grandkids as well. And I think that, when you become aware of what credit is and what rent is, and when you become aware, you seem to forget that at some point in your life you didn't know that stuff. If you would have asked me as an 18-year-old what APR was, what the danger of not paying your full credit card bill off each month was, and I did well on my math ACT. I thought I knew. I don't think I'd be able to answer those questions. So to those listeners out there that say, I bet my kid knows, a lot of times they don't.
I believe that's true. I don't think they do know. And I think we've all heard the good news. Now, today the market's not such good news.
Right.
But overall, if you think about it, unemployment, we just heard, is now at a 49-year low. Stock market continues to reach record levels. Consumer confidence is high. But what we're also seeing is household debt is also at record levels. We've now surpassed the level we were at in the third quarter of 2008, so the beginning of the global financial crisis. And we've seen 16 quarters of consecutive climbing in household debt outstanding.
What is household? Is that just the gross?
Household debt would be the combination of mortgage, which is the vast majority of it, home equity loans, student loans, which is an increasing part of it, and credit card debt and auto loans. And actually, student debt is a major factor for those just starting out. It's now larger in size in terms of relative to credit card debt or car loans outstanding.
You have a couple points here. We don't have time to get through all of them about what are in the book, and you should buy the book, Manage Your Financial Life, just starting out. Where can people find the book, by the way?
They can find it at independent bookstores, Amazon, and also, people can visit my website. I do a lot of writing and a lot of speaking at manageyourfinanciallife.com, and I'm also on Twitter at Nancy Finance.
You're all over the place,
I
Nancy.
am all over the place.
So the one I wanted to focus on, you mentioned getting organized, which sounds like, of course, it's important to read through and get details, analyzing your profile, educating yourself about investing, credit, and debt. What do you mean by putting your money to work?
Putting your money to work is saving and investing. And there are 3 points that I think are essential for all of us as we think about retirement, especially those that are young. You have to save and invest every year. You can't take a year off. You can't put it off. Second, you have to be disciplined. Once you invest that money, you cannot touch it. And third, you really need to use realistic assumptions as you plan for retirement. You hear people talk about, 8% returns, 7% returns, 9% returns. I'd say, look for, as you plan, think about about a 6% return after fees. Be conservative, because guess what? If you're wrong, you'll be ahead of where you thought you were going to be.
It's funny because I like to look at my 401k, then I get out the old calculator and I enter, sometimes some days I use 8.5%, some 7, I just hit it 30 times and see where it's at. But yeah, 6% is probably a better, more conservative
6%
number.
after fees, and it's reasonable.
And the reason I wanted to highlight that point really quickly is just the idea that putting your money to work doesn't seem like something that someone who's not making a lot of money right out of college would do. But man, that's the time to do it with compounding interest. That's the time.
Exactly. And I walk through the math in the book, and it's also on my website. If you have a 45-year time horizon till retirement and you put $4,500 away every year, you'll have $1 million by the time you retire. But the best part is the market does 80% of the work.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's incredible. And even if you're just starting out and you have to put in a little less amount, and I walk through another scenario where you can just ramp up to $4,800 a year.
Right.
If you can't start out at $4,500 year one, you can still get there. And again, the market's doing most of the work for you.
It's never fun playing catch up, is it?
No, it's not.
Nancy, good luck with the book. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Well, John,
we appreciate it.
thanks for having me by.
Good to see you again.